All right, I made a couple mistakes making this video. I was gonna quit, but that's not what this channel is about. I was gonna wait till the next day and do it, but it was like, nah, that's me quitting. I can't do that. All right, I tried to bring some structure, as you can see, but in the end, that's really not me. And you know, and I'm gonna just tell y'all what I'm talking about today. Like anger. You gotta control your anger if you really want to master your life and master your surroundings, okay? It's a secondary emotion. It's superficial. It's a shell, okay? You look at this iceberg. We all see the top, it's anger. That's what you see. But down low, you know, if someone's hurt, someone's sad, they feel rejected, they feel frustrated, it's always something else going on. Anger is always, it's never what it appears to be. You ever see someone get angry, they get to crying, it's like, what happened? What is this? I never saw this coming, because the only thing you saw was the surface. You didn't see what was going inside. It was like they were a huge shell, and all that emotion kept building up and kept multiplying because they kept suppressing. That exploded, and they started to cry or they lashed out, whatever it may be. And now when you're dealing with anger, most people want you to just stop. They never tell you they never ask you what's going on. Why are you angry? They're trying to make you suppress it. Society wants you to suppress your emotions. In the end, they want you to suppress what's really going on. They want to suppress your true self. You're hurt by something. You have a value, and someone has broken that value or has disrespected that value, whatever it may be. You know, you feel like something's attacking you. And they don't want you to. They don't care. You know, no one wants you to address the real problem. They want you to suppress. And once you suppress, you explode. You have to address the situation. Okay? Now, when you are subject to all this anger and you're always being controlled by your anger, you become a pawn in this whole system, in the whole string of things, where either it's business, relationships, you know, just out and about. When someone labels you as angry all the time, they're able to trick you, they're able to manipulate you, put you in situations because you're blinded by your anger. You're not able to look at all the surroundings. You're a pawn. Now, if you were a king or a queen, like everybody posts on their social medias and their IGs, and you know, I'm a king, I'm this, if you were a king or a queen, you're able to look at a situation and realize, hey, I don't have to be a pawn and only have one move. I can have multiple moves and multiple ways to go about this situation. Let me think back. Why am I angry? How can I tell this person I'm angry? Is this person worth being is it worth being around this person? Are these stressors in my control? Are they out of my control? How do I go about this situation? That's the mindset of a king or a queen. When you just want to react and when you're one-dimensional, you become a pawn, okay? Knowing yourself is the best defense. It's unbeatable. Because once you know yourself, you understand when people are trying to string you along or trying to trick you and manipulate you. People will subconsciously and consciously play to your weaknesses, okay? I keep saying okay. So you want to keep your frame in all situations, especially in a professional setting. You want to keep your frame. You don't want to be labeled that guy that we can't take it to a meeting, because in the end you'll be fired. They'll put you in a situation where it's high stress and you'll flip out and they'll just pull you to the side and be like, hey, you're not what this team is about. You're not what this company is about, because you weren't able to even keep your frame. This is the number one. This is how you first begin conquering anger, is understanding your triggers and keeping your frame. I don't know if y'all can see that. Understanding your triggers, knowing your triggers, and keeping your frame. Okay? Especially in those high, what's the word for it? Those high money situations when you're really in business or you have to negotiate with people or just talk to people in a professional setting. You want to keep your frame at all costs. You have to understand your triggers. You have to be like, okay, this person is, stepping into something that makes me uncomfortable. You have to realize that. Because, an angry person doesn't even know that that person is even stepping into their, it's too subconscious at that point. If you become labeled an angry person, a lot of the things you do is subconscious. And you have to bring your awarenesses up so you can consciously realize what's going on. And it's going to be a slow improvement. Because you do things subconsciously, you do them subconsciously. Now, when you bring awareness to it, you'll be able to, in the beginning, it'll be conscious, it'll be a subconscious action, and then at the end, you'll be like, oh, wait a minute. You'll be able to catch yourself because you're using awareness to be like, hey, let me reel this back. And you'll get better at it, and it slowly just become a conscious decision whether you have to protect yourself, or you have to talk, or you have to just show and stand up for yourself, okay? So knowing your triggers and you keeping your framer is critical, okay? I keep saying okay. So call to action. Something I would tell people, or just even tell myself, is think about times or moments where I was angry. Try to find 10. You gotta really dig deep and find 10 situations where you lost control and you made a bad decision out of anger or any other emotion, okay? And you have to look at the outside circumstances in this situation. What were things that were out of your control? Someone said something to you. You had a lot of work. You had a big workload at work. You know, someone stepped on your feet. Whatever it may be, you have to look at the outside circumstances. How are they related to this situation? Then you look at how you responded. How did you respond? Did you just black out? Did you cuss someone out? Did you get angry? Did you punch something? See why you did that. And then you're gonna ask yourself why. Why? And when we talk about why, it's like it's connected to the reaction. How did you connect? Why did you react that way? But it's why. You have to dig deeper. It's like an onion. You know, for an example, someone's talking to you behind your back. No, that's a bad one. Someone's talking about your shoes. Okay. Your circumstances, your outside circumstances, you can't afford better shoes. They're kind of beat up. This is the only shoe you can wear. It's raining outside, so on and so forth. They're squeaking. Someone comes up to you and says, dude, you're squeaking shoes, you can't afford no better shoes. Those are, what people used to say back in the day, I can't think what they used to say, buddies or something like that. They call your shoes buddies, all right? Your reaction is, you start pushing, you start getting angry, you start cussing people out. You have to ask yourself, why? Why am I doing this? You're doing this because you feel attacked. You feel betrayed. You feel hurt. Like, yo, this is all I got. People should respect that this is all you got. Like I said, it's a value thing. You feel like your values are being disrespected. I feel like, hey, this is all I got. People shouldn't be talking about my shoes. And then from there, once you realize why you lashed out, you feel like you were being disrespected. You feel like people weren't valuing your feelings. You have to execute. I should write that on here. You have to execute. And executing is, are these people worth being around? Are these people worth being in my life? I mean, it's over shoes, but it's bigger than that. You know, it's a bigger range we're trying to get at. But are these people worth being in my life? You know, or like you have to execute whether this is worth keeping or worth leaving. And how should I go about constructing myself in a better manner, executing? You have to work on communicating to these people, hey, this is all I got, and being vulnerable with them. And if they don't respect your vulnerability and expect what your circumstances are, you gotta let them go. Executing, you have to execute. You have to be proactive, can't be reactive. A lot of anger comes from being reactive. Proactive is realizing what's going on, communicating that effectively, okay? So, like I said, the call of action. Go back and think about moments where you were upset and lashed out. Look at the outside circumstances. What did people do? You know, what were things going on in your life that you couldn't handle? You know, the environment. And then how did you react? Did you react angrily? Did you black out? Did you punch a wall? And then from there, ask yourself why. You gotta be truthful. Don't just be like, yo, this person disrespected me and I don't like being disrespected. It ain't that simple. You gotta go deeper. You value respect. You don't feel like people need to be talking about other people, and they're talking about you. You don't like that. So on. You see where I'm going with this? Execute. Now realize, is this person worth being in? Is this person always doing this? That's what you want to have more than one scenario, because sometimes there's a certain trigger, or there's a certain person, or there's a certain action that you see, and now you'll be able to realize what your triggers are, or who your triggers are, and then from there you're able to keep your frame because you know how to address that situation, because you know how to communicate effectively, okay? So I got a little angry, you know, after I made this video and I had stuff on my face. It was just a constant battle. I kept redoing it and, you know, undoing them and deleting videos off the camera. And it was like, I was just, you know, like, I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna finish this up. I'm gonna put this on YouTube and I'm gonna share it. And that's what I did, okay? Because I value improvement. I value being able to make work and being disciplined, okay? So there it is. It's not structured. It's you can tell that I was already drawing on it and things like that, but I just want people to understand how if you're able to control your anger, you're able to control yourself. You have more self-control and you have more self-power that way. When you're subject to anger and you love to, and you're just reactive, you're playing in their court. And when you're playing in someone else's court, they don't usually play fair. They play by their rules, and you'll be woken up to a rude awakening. So just keep that in mind. You know, we're trying to build leaders. We're trying to be successful. So always remember, you want to be the king in these situations. You want to be the king or queen in these situations. You want to be able to look at things from all perspectives, unbiasedly. That's what we're talking about. That why you have to do that unbiasedly. You can't say this. You can't just have a simple explanation. It has to be in depth. Have to really get on your values. Why? Really dig deep, and then you got to execute. And executing is tough because you'll understand all these things, and then you won't be able to stop these things. You won't be able to eliminate these stressors. You won't be able to stop people from coming in your life. You won't be able to address people when they're stepping across your boundaries. So, and you won't know your boundaries. So this is important. So that's all I got to say for this video. Hope you guys liked it. I hope it was quick. Peace.